Yeah, dear YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if it's your first time. It's so strange getting back into the vlogging world, but here we are, we made it. I am MelisaMarie. For those of you who don't know, I am a registered nurse and I make videos about nursing, lifestyle, traveling, things about Jamaica. Like, those are my interests basically. So I just started off my morning routine. So far as you've seen my routine, I just like to get myself established and set up in my house and make sure the place looks nice and inviting and welcoming and productive so that I can get things done today. I'm going to sit and drink my tea and just kind of set myself up for the day. But you're gonna get several updates throughout this video, so make sure you watch it all the way through. But first update for you guys. I do live alone now. I am living by myself. Take what you will from that. I definitely will go into more details at a later time. But yeah, I'm living alone now. It's been it's one of the main reasons why I haven't posted. Like, I haven't posted in 10, almost 11 months. This is one of the main reasons. There's been a lot going on in my personal life, and child, I can't wait for the Lifetime movie to come out because it's been crazy. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm half kidding. Tyler Perry, hit me up for them rights. Okay? No, but yeah, so I'm living alone now. I love it for me. I don't have to be stressed thinking about nobody else. Being extra considerate and all that stuff. So I love it for me. I have no complaints. Usually as well, I'll put like some condensed milk in here. But seeing as I'm on a particular health kick journey, I'm not going to put any condensed milk in here. And that's going to upset my stomach anyway because I don't do dairy. My body doesn't do dairy. I do dairy. I'm working from home today, basically. Check my work emails, check some news, and then just go through the rest of my morning routine. This is like my office setup, sort of. Excuse the noise. There's a plane landing. So this is my work laptop. It's kind of honestly mostly like a vanity. You clearly can see all my makeup stuff. And this is my work laptop, my regular laptop, my work phone. My regular phone is what I'm recording with. It's prints, fax. We could do fax, scan. It can do everything on this thing. It's nice. I like it a lot. And it has that kind of scanner, and it has like the suck-in scanner where you can suck in and feed it like that. So I had a pretty massive stroke like 3 months ago. It was really, really bad. Problem that my medical professionals are encountering is, this is cute. It's so cute. I like how this booklet looks. We don't know where they're coming from, y'all. We don't know what is the reason for the season. It's so funny. People were making their assumptions and they're just like, Melissa pressure always did high, or shouldn't I eat right, or should have a lot of salt in our diet, and all kind of assumptions, but none of those are correct. My pressure is actually usually always 110/78, which I was gonna take it this morning because I don't always take it. I don't need to take it because I don't have pressure issues, but I just be curious, like if there's anything there related. But the whole time I was in the hospital, which was like 2 weeks, my pressure was perfect. So long story short, we can't figure out what's going on with my stroke situation. When I had my stroke, which was stroke number 4, by the way. It's not funny, but it's a little funny just considering how this year has gone. And I just thank God that I'm alive. Genuinely thank God that I'm alive. When I had my stroke, I was down on my left side. So my stroke was right ACA. And so I was down on my entire left side, my arm, my leg. I couldn't move them at all. It was very, very, very scary. Sometimes I think about it and I just cry. I'm laughing now, you know, just to keep it lighthearted. But sometimes I really think about it and I just cry because I thought that my life was over again. Because there's been so many things this year where I've been like, my life is over! Ah! But that was one thing where I was like, I felt like something else was being taken from me without my consent, and it was a lot considering what I've already been dealing with this year. This video is sponsored by Guinness. A jewel. I was completely compliant on my medication. I was taking Eliquis for blood thinner or Pixaban, however which way you know it. And I was compliant 5 milligrams twice a day, which is crazy because the maintenance dose after you've had your clotting event, whether you had a PE or whatever you've had, DVT, they don't keep you on 5 milligrams twice a day. They go down to 2.5 twice a day, which is crazy because, you know, my hematologist, oncologist, pulmonologist, when I had a PE, they were all in disagreement about if I should go down or stay up. They were basically saying, well, the bleeding risk is too much if you stay on that dose of 5 twice a day. So I might as well go down because I'm not gonna have another clotting event. That's what the one said. Little did he know. So, but the other one, who I think was also my neurologist and cardiologist, all the allergists, but they were like, absolutely not. We're staying on 5. We don't trust her body. Like, it can't be trusted. And I appreciate that because I can't even imagine what would have been the outcome or the result if I had gone down to 2.5. So this was me on 10 milligrams of Eliquis a day. And oh, my hair looked crazy. I just now started living alone because after I had my stroke, my mom had to come in. Well, she didn't have to. she ain't have to do nothing, but she did, because she's a mother. She does what a mother does. She moved in to my home with me, which was necessary because I couldn't walk, so I couldn't do her home, which we initially were thinking about going to her house. And then towards the discharge, I was like, wait, I can't walk up and down steps. How that's gonna work? Like, it's stairs to get into the entry, more stairs to get into the house, then it's first floor, which we were thinking I would like stay. There's no bathroom, so I would have to go upstairs or downstairs to get to the bathroom, and that was not gonna work at all. Because when I got discharged, I was starting to creep. I have my walker, which is still over there. I'll show you guys. The walker. And at the time, I was literally, I could like drag myself kind of like that. Just dragging, just kind of, you know, kind of galloping, to be honest. But I was doing rehab, of course. They were trying to discharge me to an acute rehab, but I didn't have the money for it. I had started a GoFundMe and stuff, but I didn't even meet half of my goal. It's been so hard. Of course, in conjunction with having this separation in my relationship, it's been tough financially all across the board. But yeah, so long story short, the Eliquis did not work as it was supposed to. And so they did discharge me still on Eliquis, which was silly of them. Do an Eliquis and a clopidogrel, or a Plavix, which is like a antiplatelet and a blood thinner together, to see if that would help. But we don't got time for no more we'll see ifs, okay? We can't be seeing if no more. So now I am on warfarin, which is like a crazy new addition to my life, because I do eat a lot of greens, so I got to be really mindful of the green teas, the kales, the heavy leafy greens, the vitamin K, because that deactivates warfarin, right? So you guys remember that vitamin K? Yes, deactivates warfarin, or Coumadin, or however, you know, you guys learned it as. So I'm on that now, but it also takes a long time to build up in your body. Eliquis is quick. It's like a 12-hour half-life. You take it, it's gonna start working within like 30 minutes, right? Warfarin, it takes a good like week to a month to get to your therapeutic range. So I've been on it for like a week now. It's been okay. I just had my first appointment for it. You gotta go to the doctors like all the time to get your levels checked. I think there is going to be a thing that I can apply for via insurance, where they can send me like a home, like finger stick kit, like you would if you were like diabetic. You can get a home finger stick kit, because going to the hospital is every 2, 3, 4, 5 days. This is not it. I'm busy, okay? I'm busy trying to get my life back in order. So this has been a lot. In the meantime, as I'm building up my correct level of warfarin, I do have these Lovenox injections, or enoxaparin, however you know them as. They're pretty cool. Like, they come already pre-packaged like this. Oops. So I just take off one. I have my alcohol prep pads. I just wipe, inject. I did it on camera for you guys the other day, but it was a freaking doozy. I'm so bad at these injections. And I realized it's not even that the injections hurt, because the injection themselves, like when you stick it in, it doesn't hurt. It's the plunging of it that hurts, because it burns really bad. It burns. So I guess it's burning away them clots, child. I don't know. But yeah, so it comes like this. And so usually, you know, I just check to make sure it's the correct actual medication, right? It's enoxaparin. You just want to check and make sure they got you the right stuff. You don't want to be drugging yourself with the wrong thing. And then I just look at it to make sure it's clear. I have never experienced it from my order here, but at work, like when you're giving this to patients to prevent them from clotting, sometimes it's like little floaters in there, or it's like cloudy. That means it's spoiled. Throw that away. Don't get it. So same thing for myself. I just make sure that it looks good and it's appropriate. You take this off. You have your needle there. And I definitely always squeeze until there's little bubbles. Yeah, not too much to waste any, but yeah, I squeeze to make sure there's little bubbles. I'm checking. It's 1 milliliter in here. So wipe, stick it in, inject, and you know, you go in your belly, you go in your side of your thigh, you go in the back of your arm, like there's subcutes. And once you're done, right, you've already plunged the whole thing in. There is an automatic safety component to the needle. You just gotta push it really, really hard and it comes up. So that's the safety for the needle. But you always want to make sure you put your safety on. Never recap needles. Got to use all your nursing knowledge, guys. That's what's protecting me right now from having another stroke or clot in general until we can get me to my therapeutic range. I'm taking these little Lovenox injections. I'm sitting here thinking about all the girlies who's on Ozempic, and I don't understand how y'all doing that for fun, because I'm dying just trying to stay alive, and y'all over here taking these injections for the fun of it. Man, more power to y'all. Because I'm a little punk. Oh, I guess I can tell you how the stroke even happened, so we can insert this in as well. So I was actually out with my best friend. It was the first time I had been out since, you know, determining that I'm going to get a divorce. Oh, not the D word popping up. Ah! Yeah, so it's the first time that I actually, you know, went out. From then, she dragged me out the house. She was just like, girl, you know, it's going to be okay. F him. First time out, y'all, like it was like 3 months, and I'm thankful that I didn't like drinking things, because that would have been really awkward. It was dancehall music mostly, look soca here and there, but mostly dancehall music. So it was my vibes, right? My kind of vibes. Around 1:45 is when I felt it. It's like I almost had like an aura, like how people have auras when they're having a seizure. I had like an aura, like I there was something in me that was like a switch, and I was like, oh, like I just made a face. And she was drinking, but she gets into mom mode about me, so she was able to snap right out of it. Like, she was lit. She snapped right out of it. Like, she got sober immediately. And she looked at me and she said, bitch, again? Because she was with me for my last stroke. Or I was with her for my last stroke. We were together. And she had to carry me to the hospital, like physically carry me. And my best friend don't even take out trash. She doesn't do heavy lifting. So for her to pick up me, which I'm double her size, for her to pick up me, you know, a real one. But anyway, she was like, bitch, again? And I was like, I think so. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh my gosh. It all happened so fast. It might have been like 20 seconds later, I fell. Like I fell because my left side went out. And I was trying my hardest. I was trying to fight through it with my right, but I was like, damn, I can't move. And I was like, I don't know, I just thought like my leg fell asleep or something. I didn't know what to think, to be honest, but I was like, damn, this is madness. And the bouncers are rushing over to come help and stuff, and they're all like, oh, do you need water? Do you need water? Oh, she's just drunk, like she'll be okay. Just get her some water, get her some water. And me and my best friend are like, I'm not drunk, she's not drunk, I'm not drunk. And we're telling them, I'm not drunk, I've had 0 liquor, like I'm not drunk. And because you know, sometimes you have liquor and you think you're not drunk, but you are drunk. No, get us some water, get us some water. And I'm like, oh my freaking goodness. So then they're like, can you walk out of here? And I'm like, I was like, no. Do you have a wheelchair service? And they're like, oh, the wheelchair is broken. And I was like, well, y'all gonna have to call EMS because I cannot walk. I'm telling them, like, you know, I'm fairly certain I'm having a stroke. And they're like, so what does that mean exactly? Like, yo, it was so hilarious. They're like, so what does that mean exactly? Like, that do you need more water or something? And I'm like giving them orders, I'm telling them what to do, and it's like, yo, my brain wasn't completely there. It wasn't like my other strokes where I couldn't speak, but those ones, it was like I had a aphasia with the other ones. I didn't really have aphasia with this. I was present but not quite present at the same time. It was like I was like borderline. But my best friend she was vocalizing everything for me, and she was letting them know, and they were like not really listening. She went and got her car, I think. I wanted to go with her because I wanted to go to my hospital, but they took me to a different hospital because it was what was closest. And so, yeah, I ended up getting on, EMS came, I got onto the stretcher, and the way they looked at each other, child, they were like, oh, no. They were like, this is bad. I was like, oh my God, this is so scary. I was scared, I was terrified. And meanwhile, the DJ who was like, shout out to Melly Mel. Hope you feel better, baby girl. And I'm like, not the shout out, as I'm like, it was a hot mess. Like by that time it's like 2:10 or so. Like the location done cleared out at that point because they closed at 2. We get to the hospital and the hospital was not good with me. They were asking me what drugs I took and this and ray, and I was like, I had a stroke. And they're like, you probably just have a headache. It's probably just like a atypical migraine. You know, it doesn't really give stroke because you're talking to us. And I was like, what? I was like, who raised y'all? Like, this is like health care 101. Like, come on. Left side down, sudden onset, neurological symptoms. Like, come on, yo. So, and my best friend is telling them like, oh, like she's a medical professional, like she knows what she's talking about. And they're like, oh, is she a CNA? Like it was real dusty. Long story short, they didn't know I had a stroke until 12 hours later. I knew I had a stroke immediately. But yeah, so I was there for 2 weeks after that. And, you know, we had a whole lot of things happen while I was there. I had like a little brain surgery where they were like basically digging around to see if they could find a cause. They were like checking my vessels, if there was any narrowing. And long story short, at the end of that, they were like, girl, your brain looks perfect. Sorry to tell you that, which it's good to hear. Like it's bittersweet, right? You want to hear that your brain looks good, vessels look great, apart from the little, you know, the stroke spots, which are darker than normal because they, you know, you lost oxygen there from the clots. But you want to hear that your brain looks perfect. So I was like, yay, but also what's the reason for me having this stroke, you know? So yeah, that's what happened. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in on my laptop and basically, where's my tea? Check my work emails. So when I'm checking my emails, basically I'm seeing what referrals have come in, what plans of cares have come back. So this is like a plan of care. You can't see any patient information here. Disclaimer is perfect. I love to see plan of cares going. Sometimes there's like some discrepancies with different patients, and yeah, so I'm just checking. This is a thread I see with one of my patients, so I'm just gonna read all of it so that I am aware of what's going on with my patient, so that when I see them or when, you know, anything happens in office, I can be like, oh yeah, I know X, Y, and Z. Definitely just want to stay informed with my patients. After we create the plan of cares and we edit all the medications and all that stuff, we then fax it over to the primary care physician or the behavioral health physician or the neurologist, endocrinologist, whoever it is that is certifying that they need to have these services. We send a fax it over to them and then they fax it back. So it's all through an e-fax system, which I also have a physical faxer in here, which I love this new printer. It's like a joy to me. Signs that I'm aging, because why am I so excited about a printer? But we fax it over to them, they fax it back. So now that they fax this back to me, now I'm uploading the plan of care that they faxed back into the file for this particular patient. Yeah, so if anything comes up, we can always refer back and say, hey, we have this physician order, you know, because legally as nurses, we're not supposed to be operating without a physician's order, right? But in this role, there's so much autonomy that you kind of have to do what's best for your patient in time. You're not going to wait for this fax to come back, because sometimes it can take like 40 days. You want to get it under 30 days, but sometimes it can take like 40 days. You always know which doctors is going to be what, like which doctors like to play, because after working with them for so long, you figure it out. I have some doctors who will get me back my plan of cares in like 2-3 days. Love them to death. Diddy stuff is crazy. It's not crazy because it's what we already known and heard about for all of my life. So I'm sure you guys have heard about it for a long time too. So I'm not like surprised by anything, but it's just like every day something new. Can we pour something we can barely pronounce? It's typical to say I love you out loud. See me, everything you do while you call my name. Sunday afternoon, can you make it rain? Let the flowers bloom, ease my pain. Always tell the truth, can you answer me? Oh, what is it you see? Actually, I'll give you another update while I'm here. So you guys know I was in grad school, had stopped school to deal with all the personal things that was happening in my life. I could not manage all of it. Could not manage, but I had stopped grad school, but I'm starting up again. I'm starting again in November or January. I think November, I'm not sure as yet, but I did switch schools. So I originally was going to Baylor University. My professors were amazing. They were very understanding of everything that was going on. They were very like, well, it's a Jesuit school, so it's like, you know, a lot of religious people there. They were always pulling me to the side. We were online, child, so they were putting me into a private room, trying to pray for me and pray with me, and they were just wonderful, honestly, very wonderful. I have nothing bad to say about Baylor except for the price. It's quite expensive of a school. It's a private university, of course. It's a very expensive school, but otherwise I really liked it. I love the colors that were green and yellow and, you know, just like real, it was giving real Jamaica. You know, I love this school. I like the program as well. It has a lot of God in the program, so definitely a lot of like how to be a good servant to the Lord and to your fellow man and stuff like that. And I don't mind it because I'm, you know, I believe. So I don't mind that, but I feel like somebody who is like atheist would have a difficult time there, maybe not, because atheist people have morals too. Just because you're not religious doesn't mean you don't have morals. Honestly, you probably got more morals if you're not religious. But I will be starting again in November, but I'll actually be starting at Chamberlain, y'all. I'll be back at the Chambs, which also means that my specialty has changed as well. And there's a reason for that I won't get into in this video specifically, but you guys will know soon enough why my specialty has changed. But yeah, so I was an NP doing neonatal nurse practitioner, but now I'm going to be doing FNP or psych, and it's more than likely going to be psych. Yeah, like I said, I'll give you the reason a little bit later, but it's due to actual interaction and experience. But people have been chasing down psych the last couple of years because psych NPs are like one of the highest paying or the highest paying nurse practitioner. I think specialty, CRNA, I don't really consider as a nurse practitioner. I do consider them as advanced practice providers because they are, but they're not. I wouldn't call them an NP. They're anesthetists. They're in a league of their own. Honestly, the caliber is very different, so I don't even put them in the same category. But for me, the allure with psych NP or even FNP is the ability to work from home eventually, because that's the end goal for me. You know, I don't want to be tied to a hospital forever, so that's why NNP was a little bit tricky, because you can't really work as an NNP unless you're in a hospital. You got to be attached to a NICU, you got to be attached to a labor and delivery unit, you got to be attached to something hospital based, right? Unless I'm in like a birthing center or something. But if your baby needs advanced care, because they came early, they should be in a hospital, not a birthing center. I don't need to decide between the two specialties right away because the first like year are all the same generic NP courses. I gotta make some phone calls, right? Hi, this is Melissa Nelson I'm calling with regards to a mutual patient. Yes, I'm looking for a doctor. Patient's last name is, yes, yes. Yes, I sent this plan of care 48 days ago. We like to try to get them back within 30 days. You know, that's our limit with the state. So if you could get that back to us ASAP, that's the message. Yep, patient's birthday is, yep, 4 years old. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And if you have any concerns, you can shoot a text to this number, call this number. This is my personal work number, so I will have access to it at all times. But yeah, if you can get that plan of care back to us ASAP, I'd really appreciate that. All right, have a great day. All right, bye. So yeah, I'll call the doctor's offices and be like, get me my plan of cares, bro. But yeah, that's really pretty much it for my morning routine. You won't really see me eating breakfast. I just haven't been eating, y'all. I've been depressed. I've been miserable. Not miserable. I'm happy. I'm happy, child. I'm happy. But I've been depressed and I've been overwhelmed by far. You know, I've had lawyer fees out the ass. I've had a lot going on, a whole lot. It's gonna be good. A little bit. It's gonna be good. I know that God got me and the people in my life got me. And yeah, I'm just taking it day by day. It's definitely very different. I don't feel lonely at all. I feel free. I feel free. I feel empowered in some respects, especially considering all the very horrible things that were done to me and how I almost died a couple times. I feel free. I feel alive. Okay, I'm okay. I'm not okay. I'm definitely not okay. You know, overall, I got therapy and things, and I'm working through things with, but you know, collectively on a day-to-day, I'm okay enough. And it's just how I choose to live life. I live life on a more positive spectrum, a more positive realm. That's just usually me. I don't know how many good years of life I have left with all my medical things I have going on. So I don't have time to be like upset and miserable in life. I don't have time to be sad, you know, and stuck in my sadness or wallowing in my sadness. That's not really something I've ever done. I feel my emotions. I always feel them, but I push through. I can't let them weigh me down. I can't weigh down from, you know, circumstance in life. Of course, this is not how I envision my life at this point. I'm going to be 30 in 6 months. It's going to be a whole new chapter for me, right? Heading into the 30th decade. I'm excited for that. Fully immersed in my career and having these different connections and experiences. I'm excited for what's to come. It's just that this huge set of roadblocks was just so unexpected and so hard to bounce back from, and I'm still bouncing back from most of them, to be honest, the majority of them. But you know, I'm taking it day by day, and I just cannot be held down mentally. I cannot be held down. My mental fortitude is very strong. I'm doing my thing, and we're taking it day by day, guys, day by day. It's just it. I'm going to probably, yeah, oh, I'm gonna like do some workout, because every morning I also stretch. I do like a bit of yoga, because it's really good for my left side to get back to where it is. My arms, you can't tell that they're super uneven, but like if I'm holding something in my right, like holding this cup, right, but if you like drop it in my hand, I will drop it. Like I'm not like strong like I used to be. But that's just gonna come at time and continuing to work through, you know, all this stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to know about what's been going on too. If you want some specifics, comment down below. Let me know what you're curious about, and I'll put it in the next video if I feel comfortable like sharing that. Of course, I don't, you know, I know I don't feel obligated to share anything with anybody. It's like therapeutic for me in a sense to release some of this stuff. I'm doing 2-a-days right now to try and get some tone back in my left side. It's so limp, it's so weak. And one of my when I'm at rehab, therapist, he's doing this thing now where he wants me to be able to like bounce back. So like I'll be standing and he'll just shove me, and I literally go flying, because like, boy, like what you think this is? No, but apparently, you know, you're supposed to be able to get yourself together, like, you know, stabilize yourself, but I ain't got it in me. So things like that, where, you know, that's a safety hazard, because I've noticed I'm trying to go out more now, which is recommended, to go out and like get your body used to doing things, get into a routine every day. I have gone to like the doctors, of course, multiple times, and somebody bumps into me and I'm like, oh shoot. But usually I have my cane at that point anyway, because I just need to have that stability at baseline. You know, it helps with stability, but I definitely got a ways to go for the balance and, you know, stability of it all. I still don't even have sensation on a lot of my left side. So if I was at 100% before, I'm probably at 60 to 65% now with my sensation on the left. So that's good that we're coming back, because I was down to 0. I was down to 0% when I had my stroke. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Thank you for catching up with me. I will see you guys in my next video, which will probably be like a more evening nighttime routine when I'm doing my yoga and stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to comment what exactly you want to hear in my next video. Love you guys a little more.